A man allegedly hid marijuana inside Easter eggs all across the city. The U.S. urges Mexico to stop the screwworm from crossing over the border. And selfies with Pope Francis's body spark online fury. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, your only daily weird news source. That's right, Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. I got 3 weird news stories from all around the world, as I always do. Here we go. I am Iron Man. A Texas man is accused of hiding marijuana inside Easter eggs. Well, that tells you how expensive eggs are right now. Marijuana seems way cheaper. All right, let's find out what went on here. This is out of Lufkin, Texas. A Texas man is accused of devising a scavenger hunt for Easter with plastic Easter eggs filled with marijuana. Well, heaven forbid a man have hobbies. Come on. I mean, it sounds to me like he turned Easter into the best day of the year for some people, hiding his weed eggs, his weedster eggs. What did he do wrong? Can someone explain this to me? Can you be exempted from a crime, by the way, if it's an 11 out of 10 on the funny scale? Because this is really funny. I mean, why shouldn't the greatest Easter bunny of all time be exempted from any sort of punishment? Here's a kicker. The guy is still out there. The police can't seem to track down our Wheatster man. His name is Avante Nicholson. He is the real MVP of Easter. I'm wondering if he's accepting invites for next year. They say Avante Nicholson is accused of planting eggs in 3 different parks around the city and one behind a Motel 6. All of this was on Easter. I'm a little late to the story because it just didn't come across my plate until now, the 28th of April. Police say they went through Nicholson's Facebook page and found multiple photos of these eggs, including one photo of the 5 eggs with hints to their location. Well, that was a big mistake by Nicholson to just go on social media on his own page, right? Just sort of broadcasting your crime. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a crime. Marijuana is not yet legal in Texas. I know, you're surprised to hear that, given all the other crap that's legal. You can own 77 AR-15s and 5 Tigers. But yeah, can't have marijuana. Yeah, I mean, let's not even begin to bring some rationale to the state of Texas. It's like, it has Florida flavors. Now, it looks like the police did a scouring of Nicholson's Facebook page where they encountered various references of selling narcotics in some of his posts. Nicholson stated regarding these Easter eggs, whoever, quote, shopped with him on Easter, the day of the scavenger hunt, would get hints to the locations of these eggs. Kind of like a buy one, get one free thing. Yeah. It says here that 4 of the 5 eggs were recovered by the police on Easter, and that a man and his granddaughter discovered the 5th egg in a park the day after Easter and promptly brought it to the police station. Because obviously Grandpa's no fun. Grandpa's part of the fun police, too. Now it says a total amount of marijuana that was in these Easter eggs was about 1/4 of an ounce of free marijuana. Free! I always miss the best holiday theme parties. Why? 4 warrants. 4 warrants have been issued for Nicholson. That's how serious they take the weed in Texas. 4 warrants. You could hang a brown person and only get 2 warrants out for your arrest in Texas. Ridiculous place. Texas man wanted on suspicion of having the dopest idea ever. Now, this article has a quote from the police chief of Lufkin, David. Should I bother to read this? Incidents like this are a reminder of why take seriously all information called into our offices. On the surface, it seems implausible someone would give away a drug, but the follow-up proves that sometimes even the most unlikely things do happen. The safety of our community is at the forefront of everything we do, and in cases such as this, when it endangers the children's, we are even more vigilant. Oh, really? Well, let's see how you handle the next school shooting. That's how I will judge your vigilance, sir. The way they act on marijuana, though, yeah, these tough guys. Yeah, we're tough on drugs, yeah. It says at the end here, if you have any knowledge of Nicholson's whereabouts, to contact Crime Stoppers. Anyone going to narc on the Wheatster bunny? Yeah, that's just trying to bring joy. I mean, in the current U.S. environment, don't you think we could all use a cannabis scavenger hunt?
Yeah, boy.
The U.S. orders Mexico to stop the flesh eating parasites from spreading north over the border. Flesh eating parasites are on the way. I had no idea. Guys, are we great again yet? I've been waiting for the greatness to come. When's it? Can someone tell me when the greatness is going to be here? Do you, is it almost great? I would accept almost great at this point. Let's keep reading and find out how much longer we have to live before the flesh eating parasites just crawl up my bunghole. The U.S. Department of Agriculture reportedly warned Mexico it will cease all live animal imports unless the country enforces strong measures to stop a flesh eating parasite from spreading northward into America. We have a Secretary of Agriculture. Her name is Brooke. Wouldn't expect your Secretary of Agriculture to be named Brooke. It's kind of like a swimsuit model name, right? Anyways, Brooke is hot, and she's also the Secretary of Agriculture. In between her photo shoots, she's sending scathing letters to her Mexican counterparts, threatening to block the importation of live cattle, bison, and horses if the government of Mexico fails to combat the spread of New World screwworm. It's called a screwworm. You guys familiar with the screwworm? I've never heard of the screwworm. I'm going to say it again a couple more times in this article. You better believe it. Here's a quote from the letter that was obtained by the media from Secretary Brooke to Mexico. We are now at a critical inflection point in our shared campaign against this pest, the screwworm, and I'm very concerned about our collaboration. Very concerned. The outbreak in southern Mexico continues to expand, and every day that passes without full deployment of sterile insect technique operations represents a lost opportunity to contain this pest and prevent its spread beyond the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. The Isthmus of Tehuantepec. I think I said that right. Do you guys know about the Isthmus of Tehuantepec? It's obviously a line of pest demarcation that Brooke is drawing. The screwworm, what is it? Should we run? Do we have to wear a mask again? Perhaps we need to put condoms on. The screwworm primarily targets the periphery of fresh wounds in warm-blooded animals. Oh my goodness, I think I'm a warm-blooded animal. As well as birds, deer, and humans. Humans? Oh, you're not going to like this information, guys. This is what the screwworm does, all right? This is not for the faint of heart. Hide your wife, hide your kids. The screwworm deposits hundreds of eggs that hatch into your flesh. They hatch into flesh-eating maggots in your flesh. Upon hatching, the larvae can infest. I can't read today. I'm sorry. I'm sick. It can infest the bloodstream, causing an extremely painful condition called myiasis. Myiasis is looking good. Myiasis, and consume their host from the inside out. It consumes the host from the inside out. My goodness, it's like that movie The Thing, which I just rewatched, and my goodness, it's amazing. John Carpenter's the shit. All right, guys, don't worry about this, though. You got Brooke on the case. Now, we're in real good hands with Brooke, who Trump met off of Bumble. She signaled that Mexican customs officials have imposed costly import duties on critical supplies, limiting crucial operations necessary to prevent the lurking pests from advancing across the border. So it sounds like, according to her, Mexico's not helping the situation. You know, funny, when you piss off your neighbors, they don't really act quickly when it comes to helping you out. Who knew? Keep it up, guys. Keep pissing off Canada. Keep pissing off Mexico. I feel like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe like 6 countries in the world hated us. Now, like, all countries, I think, hate us. Good job, guys. I mean, if I was Mexico, I'd probably just chuck bags of this parasite over the wall anyways, just to make it even worse, wouldn't you? Right? Who doesn't hate us right now? Okay, I skipped down to the bottom of the article here. Got a last quote from Brooke here. She says, I must inform you that if these issues are not resolved by Wednesday, April 30th, that's like a couple of days from now, she says the USDA will restrict the importation of animal commodities, which consist of live cattle and bison. Don't you have people checking for the worms at the border when they come in? I mean, You should have somebody there, a team checking all imports, food related, right? Livestock and plants as well, just to make sure that crap isn't coming in. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. No, it just would seem to me like you should also be a part of inspections on your side of the fence too, and not just trust that the people sending you cattle have done the inspections, right? Are we just gonna trust? They have like some strict rules. I took a banana from Japan, a flight from Japan into the States. I took a banana off the flight. They freaked out that I took that banana off the flight and into technically it was already into the country, but they were like all about it. That was an airline. I mean, you would think that we have some like USDA having people inspecting everything that comes in. I don't know. One rule of thumb, though, when it comes to U.S. government is if it makes sense, it's probably not happening. After being an American for this long, I've sort of learned this rule of thumb. Yeah, if it's less costly, quicker, and makes total sense, it's not happening. The U.S. government is not doing it. You can trust. This is why we have measles in the U.S. We have measles in the U.S., guys. And soon to have flesh-eating parasites in the hamburger. Lovely. Screwworms and measles, screwworms and measles, a worm for every brain.
Tax day's always a pain. Next year could be a nightmare. If Congress fails to extend Trump's tax cuts, middle-class families will get hit with a huge tax increase. That means less money for groceries, less money to pay your mortgage, less money for school supplies, and less money for family vacations. A $1,500 tax increase? That's enough to give families the cold sweats. Avoid the nightmare. Save Trump's tax cuts. Learn more at protectprosperity.com. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Let's rock.
Selfies with the Pope's body spark fury online. Who's taking selfies with the Pope's body and then posting it online? It seems bizarre. R.I.P. Pope. Dude, like, subscribe, and share. Who does this? Anger has erupted, it says, both inside St. Peter's Basilica and online as well over the number of visitors that were posing for selfies with the body of Pope Francis. I'm sure the Pope wouldn't mind, you know. He was always the people's Pope, right? He probably doesn't care. The Pope, who passed away on Easter Monday, is currently lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica as part of the Pope's entombment ritual. Now, this story I'm reading is dated about 3-4 days ago, so I don't know if he's still lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica as part of the entombment ritual. Maybe he is still there. It says while mourners are permitted to approach the casket to grieve and pray, many visitors, along with commentators online, have expressed some anger and frustration over others that were taking selfies, some even using selfie sticks to capture the moment. Well, I mean, how high up is the casket? You might need a selfie stick to get it in full view, you know. I have no objection of taking a photo with the Pope's remains. You know, posting it online is a little weird, wouldn't you think? I don't know. Do you have a problem with taking a selfie with the Pope? I mean, before you judge, just remember that the church, going back hundreds of years, they've had remains of saints on display and whatnot. Body parts have been dug up of certain saints to be put on display. It gets a little morbid the further back you go. So, you know, a picture of the Pope's dead body, a selfie with the Pope, I mean, it's kind of not a huge deal, in my opinion. Yeah. Considering you can walk into a medieval church somewhere in Europe and see a dead saint's mummified finger and take a picture with that. Obviously, the Vatican was okay with it. They didn't, prevent mourners from bringing their phones into, the basilica. Is that what it's called? There are areas in the Vatican where you're not allowed to take your phone. They don't want pictures of certain areas, but they let it in for that. So that tells you how they feel about it. They're cool with it, it would seem. It's probably just a bunch of Karens online. Let's read, though. The article says the line of mourners stretched for over 8 hours, with pilgrims traveling from around the world to grieve the Pope. However, phones were a dominant presence in the crowd for this particular Pope, with many people holding them aloft to capture images of the Pope. Someone named Catherine was visiting from London. She said, quote, I was very moved coming so close to Pope Francis, but it was awful seeing so many people taking photos. Another journalist from Sky News noted, quote, phones are a constant sight here. Well, again, I mean, it comes down to the Vatican security. They don't have to allow this. They obviously are. What do you expect? We live in selfie land, photo land. It says here, not all of the mourners are upset about the use of phones. One attendee told the media that he was taking photos because Pope Francis was, quote, the first pope who spoke up for gay people like me. Another journalist is quoted as saying, it's hard to tell whether these phones damage the mood, bruising the somber sense of intimacy, or whether they add to the idea that this is much about celebrating someone's life as it is about bemoaning death. Maybe both can be true. Someone here named Nick wrote, what are they thinking? I do get the importance of it, and I understand that you often like to have your photograph taken by, I don't know, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Houses of Parliament, but a dead pope? Don't get it. Yeah, because you're probably 70 years old, sir. That's why you don't get it. People are taking photos wherever they think it's cool. It's causing deaths. People take photos in these dangerous places and fall to their deaths. I've covered it so many times. Where do you think that's coming from? It's a thing, man. It's not going to go away either. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, if you want to call it bad news. But, this is the world we live in now. Again, if the Vatican didn't want this, they could have had everybody turn in their phone before they entered. This is a thing now. I went to a comedy show the other night, and before you went into the comedy club, you had to put your phone in a pouch, and that wasn't even a famous comedian. So it's pretty easy to do this now. And again, let me reiterate, the Catholic Church has displayed bones of saints, fingernails, skin, heads of saints have been preserved. They've even been bought and sold. So if you want to be up in arms about something, how about, what I would call the desecration of a human body? We're talking about just some photos. It does no damage to the corpse whatsoever. But when the head of Pope Francis is on a tour in 2050, now maybe this is a time for your outrage. But maybe you all disagree with me entirely. Maybe you think this is terrible. You can call the show, 646-450-2012. You think taking a selfie with the Pope is terrible? As I said, I don't think it's terrible, but I'd have to judge on what you did with the selfie afterward. Like if you post it on Instagram with something rude, if you're just posting it to get your own likes, I don't know. I'm not into that. I would say for that, you give me 20 Hail Marys and 30 Our Fathers.
I listen to Weird AF News. It's free.
Hi, my friends. It's your buddy Jonesy. Thank you so much for spending some time with me in the Weird AF News podcast. I appreciate you. I got some nice birthday wishes over the weekend. Thank you for all of that. A lot of support, a lot of love, and it felt great. I'm extremely hungover. My voice is gone. You can imagine the kind of night I had, and this is what we get. Still doing it, though. Not going to miss the podcast. I'm sipping my coffee, though. Keeping it going, guys. I want to give thanks and praise. People bought me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. Super nice people. Craig Inry. Craig wrote, happy birthday, Jonesy. Thanks for all you do. Florida Fridays, first thing Saturday mornings, always gets my weekend off to a good start. Peace, brother. Peace, brother. Craig, shout out to Craig. Big fan of Florida Friday. Nice guy. Bought me some coffees. Super nice. Appreciate you, buddy. Chef Ryan. You know Chef Ryan? OG fan of the show, going back since the very beginning. Chef Ryan bought me coffees as well. Chef Ryan, one of the only weirdos I've actually met in real life when he visited L.A. So I've met a few of you weirdos, and it's always a good time. So anyways, Chef Ryan, he wrote, have some beers on me, homie. Happy birthday. Oh, Ryan, I did. I had some beers on you, buddy. Thank you for the beers. Too much beers. Some hard alcohol, some booze. At one point, I was at a tiki bar. You know how that goes. The tiki drinks, man. They're just unbelievable. It's hard to believe they're legal because they're so dangerous. Amber bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. Let's give a shout out to Amber as well. She wrote, "Here's a coffee or something for you, Jonesy. You always make mine and my boyfriend's day funny no matter what we are going through. Listening to your podcast, we end up almost dying of laughter. Happy birthday." Isn't that sweet? So shout out to Amber and her boyfriend. I'm pleased. I'm pleased and flattered and surprised that my podcast brings couples together. It's pretty cool. Krista bought me some coffees. Krista Cram, long time listener. Krista's been very supportive of the show as well. Shout out to Krista. She wrote, "Happiest of birthday wishes to you today, good sir. Thanks once again for all you do. Appreciate you, especially your music references. And I'm super glad you were born and exist in my life in the form of Weird AF News. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend celebrating and enjoy a coffee or two on me. Or a beer, joint, whatever. It's your day, Jonesy. You do you, my friend." Isn't that sweet? She left me some nice cute emojis in there too that make me smile. Emojis make me smile. Those are the coffees that I got purchased for me. Aren't I a lucky guy? Oh, hold on. Julie bought me a coffee as well. Did I skip Julie? Oh, Julie bought me a coffee. Wrote, "Happy birthday, Jonesy." So for some reason, the old Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger song kept playing in my head. So I came up with a cheer for you. If you don't know it, just Google the Tony the Tiger commercial from, I believe, the late 90s. I'm not going to sing it for you, but hopefully you get a good laugh from it. Also, I may have taken an edible when I came up with this. Anyways, here it is. "Hey, Jonesy, I like Weird AF News. Hey, Jonesy, if I could, I would be you. You're the one and only comic with the one and only jokes. You know how to take a podcast and make it great. Weird AF News is more than good. It's great." I remember the great. I remember Tony the Tiger commercial, and he would go, "Great." I don't remember the song, so I just winged it there. Sorry, Julie. Doing the best I could there. But that was really cool. You definitely were high when you did that. For sure. For sure. Anyways, I hope you guys had a great weekend. And that you enjoyed the Florida Friday episode. I thought it was good. Anyways, I'm still recovering. Hopefully my voice will be back to normal tomorrow. But, maybe not. I really tied one on. So this is what we get. I got a big show Wednesday, though. I got to get on the road, so I hope I get better by then. I hope I feel better. I like you for being here, and thank you. If you sent me a birthday wish, thank you. Someone sent me 2 bags of 100 gram bars, by the way. I don't know who it is. There was no name on it. It came via Amazon Prime. So if you sent me 100 gram bars, my favorite candy bar, please reach out to me and tell me. I want to give you the love that you deserve properly on the show. I'm going to eat some of those today. Thank you. Love you guys. Be good to yourself, and good luck with your life, man.